you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Constance Carter, and we are here live. What is this? Wednesday? Happy Hump Day. Let's get over the hump, y'all. What's happening today? I'm so excited because I have some really, really special guests coming on here. We're going to talk about some things that I think that we all need to understand as grown adults. Whether you're married, if you're in a relationship, if you're single, there's important things that I think that we all need to understand. But before we get there, I want to welcome you here, and I want to know, because I know we have people that watch from all over the world. So I want to shout you out. Talk back to me, talk black to me. So what's up, Miss Sophia? I want to see where you're watching from. So put in the comments where you are watching from. Sophia from Stockton, California. What's crack-a-lacking? What's up, Karen from the big boogie down Bronx? What's happening? Booker. Hey, Booker from Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, DFW. What's up, Jahari? Where you watching from, Jahari? Who else we got? What's up, Christina from Tallahassee? Listen, we got a jam-packed show for you today. I see you, Gail from Compton. What's happening, Gail from Compton? What's going on, Gail from Compton? You want to highlight Gail from Compton? There's Gail from Compton, and there's Michelle from New York City. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? All right. And also, listen, you know, I love to shout out Black-owned businesses. So if you are a Black-owned business or you know of a Black-owned business, I need you to put it in the comments. Why do I do this? Because it's extremely important that we practice collective economics. We need to have the mindset that we are doing business with one another. If we don't do business with one another, other people ain't going to do business with us. And it's extremely important that we have this dollar continuing to circulate in our community. It's extremely important. You know, another thing that's important to our community is Black love, relationships, marriage. The reason why, there was an article in Forbes magazine that said in the year 2053, Black median wealth was going to be a zero. Now, I don't believe that, because I believe that, they done fucked around and gave us the internet, and that's the great equalizer. But also the thing that's hindering Black wealth is Black marriage. And Black marriage has been on a decline over the last 50 years for whatever reason. What's up, Barbara from Stockton? Black marriage has been on the decline over the last 50 years. So I think I seen a statistic here recently on Fly Nubian Money. I think Black marriage was about 30% at this point. And so the reason why that wealth gap is so wide is because you don't have two parents, two adults in the house that's contributing to the wealth of the family. So having healthy relationships are important. I talk about this to my children all the time. Even though I'm not in a relationship, even though I don't have a significant other, I want my kids to have happy, healthy, whole lives. And so having those conversations with them, even though that's not what they experience right now with their mother, because I'm single, I try to teach that to my kids, because it's important that our children have that foundation. But in order to have a happy, healthy, sound relationship, there are certain things that you have to have. Red flags be feeling like Six Flags when you feeling a Negro. Have you ever heard that saying? Red flags, like if you got hella chemistry, the red flags be feeling like Six Flags. You be like, wee! You ignore all the red flags. So to continue this conversation, I'm going to bring some of my good friends on here, okay? So first of all, I want to bring the queen of all things pop culture. Y'all know her, Miss Athena. What's up, Miss Athena? She is a CPA. She is a wealth warrior. She is everything. She knows all about love. I'm excited because we've been talking about this topic for a long time, Athena, and you have really studied relationships, and I'm happy. I don't know if you want to share about what you have been able to do.
Am I expert in this area?
I think you might be an expert these days, because you've studied it, you've done all the things, and now you have successfully. I don't know if I want to let the cat out of the bag.
Listen. Let's keep things chill for right now.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be here today, because today it's a topic that I'm very passionate about, and I'm very, I can bring value from all aspects, from an economic standpoint, but from a relational and emotional standpoint as well. So this is something that's very needed.
Well, and everybody needs girlfriends who have a sound mind, because girls could tell you stuff because they're jealous of you, because they don't want to see you happy, because maybe they like your man. So you need like girlfriends in your life that'll tell you, or even just say that you're always right. That girl, don't worry about it. You're right, he's wrong, and give you bad advice. So you need good sound girlfriend. And you look at, girl, you're glowing. I don't know, something's going on here.
It's called minding my business and staying out of the way. That's why I think.
All right, cool. So the next person that we're gonna bring up. So listen, y'all. Here's what I'm excited about is that we have some men's on the panel today.
We love the men's, honey.
I love the men's, hunty. So the first person I'm gonna bring up is my good friend Derek. Derek was born and raised in the DMV, DC. He's been an entrepreneur for Remax. He's a broker, president of the Real Estate Association of Maryland, has 2 sons, and he was married for over 20 years and has lived and loved life to the fullest. What's up, D?
What it do, Callie? What's happening? How about you?
Always calls me Callie.
Yes. Oh, love. Look, I'm humbled by the opportunity to share the stage with you guys this morning. I appreciate the invite and definitely lived it and loved it and got a lot to talk about.
I love it. Derek, I've been knowing you probably about 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, right? I mean,
yeah.
So the cool thing about my boy Derek is I'm business. So the great thing about me moving to the DMV is I knew so many people just because by virtue of business. So Derek and I, because he's in real estate, I would see him at conferences all over the place. Derek, I don't know if you know, I don't know if I ever told you, when I used to talk to you and pick your brain, you're so brilliant, you're so smart, and you would say little different things. I would go home and implement shit and put programs in place based upon conversations that we had.
Love it. I love it. Every successful person in life got a coach or a mentor. If you don't have one, you dying.
Yeah. So he's very, very successful. Also, are you still married?
No.
Okay.
A good run.
All right. 20 years. All right.
An amazing run.
That's a good thing.
We have an amazing friendship. That's always a better thing. You feel me?
I love that. I love that for you. And the next gentleman that we got coming on here is my good friend, Mr. Sean Rayford. Now, Sean, I know from Cali. That's my boy. Sean is one of the he was on my show Conversation Starters a few years ago, him and his former wife. And we were talking about Black love. Go figure. But he's an amazing artist. He's a saxophone player. I think didn't you get on a billboard or something like that, Sean?
Oh yeah, I was number 1. Matter of fact, 2 years ago I was number 22 at the end of the year, and I'll be at Yoshi's if you're in California on June 30th. June 30th,
Oakland, Yoshi's. That's my spot out in Oakland, California. So if you are in Cali, if you're in the Bay Area, Sean Rayford. Oh, Sean, can you turn your thing to the side?
How about that? That's better.
That's much better. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna bring is somebody else coming on here. Are you ready, Miss T? I don't see. We might have one more coming on here. T, you ready? All right. I don't know if she's ready yet, but Tiara's gonna join us at some point. She's trying to get her. Oh, so she's not coming on. Okay. All right. So listen. So the reason why I wanted to have this conversation, because I seen that there was a really cool video this older white gentleman was talking about, and he was talking about how people overlook these red flags because they have this chemistry, right? So like I said, when you feeling somebody, them rose-colored glasses come on. But he said that there are 7 secrets. So I want to go over these seven secrets, and I want to see kind of where you guys fall within the compatibility, and then I want to play a little game. Okay. Y'all ready?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna show each video, and I want to kind of see where you guys fall in each one. Okay, where's that? All right. So here's the first one he said.
Signal 1, incompatible emotional regulation styles. One seeks connection when stressed, the other isolates. It's not a character flaw, but that neurological difference in processing emotions that no amount of love can completely harmonize. All
right. So what is your compatibility style? I'm going to start with you, Sean. Do you seek isolation or do you seek communication? What's your compatibility style when you're stressed?
I do isolation. Anytime I'm stressed, I'd rather have a pillow over my head and try to get through.
You don't want to be bothered?
No.
So basically what he's saying is if you're that type and then your partner like wants to talk, then there's probably a compatibility issue that will not end up making your relationship last. What about you, Athena?
Well, it depends. In a day-to-day non-romantic relationship, I will isolate, but when it's with a romantic partner, I would want him to, I want to connect. But I find this in dating, that this is a difference that a lot of men and women have, that a lot of the men will tend to want to be alone and isolate and deregulate themselves and figure it out on their own and then come back, versus us, we kind of want to connect immediately and work through it together. Mm-hmm. So I've had to learn to give space and just trust and understand that at some later point we will discuss things.
Okay. So what about you, Derek? Isolate or connect if you're stressed?
I'm a connection guy. I'm a big personality guy. I'm real big on energy. For me, I believe that activity is part of the root of getting out of a hole. And I kind of have a no bad days rule in my mind that I feel like it's important. If we could talk through it, we could work through it. And so it's no getting in your igloo and getting under your turtle shell and hiding still. Let's work through it. And I think that's why therapy and things like that is so important. Most people don't have an outlet. And so we vibing and we together, let's talk through it because we can work through it. Because my perspective, on some things might add some value to your psyche. And, let's figure it out together. We're a team.
Yeah. I would say, I don't know. Because I guess if it's somebody that I like, I would probably want to connect, right? That person, I would want to talk through talk through it. Probably, I probably was an isolator when I was married more so. I don't, just because of the compatibility factor. So I think I think now, but I have not been in a relationship since my marriage. I think I'm a connector. I think I would want to ideally connect. I don't know. So you're a connector, you're an isolator, Sean.
Yes, I'll isolate.
You don't want to be bothered with nobody. You want to go in your cave. You want to be left alone.
I got to figure it out. I have to figure it out.
Okay.
And if you're in my ear constantly, it's not going to be good.
Okay. So you need somebody who will leave you the hell alone.
Yes.
All right.
So, Sean, quick question. So you're content with trying to figure it out on your own? That works better for you?
It hasn't worked, but I figure it will soon. One of these days. Hell, I just turned 60 today, so.
What? Look at you, black don't crack for real, homie. Happy birthday, Sean! Thank you for coming on your birthday.
Sean, I have a follow-up question for you, Sean. Is it that you're trying to figure it out on your own, or do you just feel like you just want to process your feelings on your own? Is it figuring out the problem, or is it just allowing your feelings to process safely by yourself? Because that's a different.
I think the processing part of it is for me. I like to figure it out because I don't want to bring anything. I'm like the brother. I don't like to have any bad days. If you know me, I am smiling 7 days a week. I don't care, but sometimes I need to process things. And when I do, I'd like to be by myself for a little bit. Not all day, not all week, not all month, but just for a little bit of time to get, to get where I need to be, so that we can keep doing what we're doing.
Right. Sometimes it's good. So what about you guys in the audience? All in chat, are you guys connectors or are you isolators when you're stressed? Are you connectors or you isolators? So that's number one. All right. So let's go to the second one. Let's see your compatibility. All right. So we're going to go to number 2.
Signal 2, different levels of emotional transparency. One lives to share every thought. The other values private inner space. It's not a matter of openness, but that fundamental need for intimacy calibrated to different frequencies that creates misunderstood distance.
All right, Athena, what about you? Are you a sharer or you like to keep things to yourself?
I don't need to share every intimate thought. I do share, but I'm probably in the middle with that. I don't feel like every single intimate thought I need to share. Now, what I will say is I have a tendency to attract men who kind of like to keep their inner thoughts inside, and it takes a long time for them to like share that. So I've also had to learn in the process of dating and relationships to just honor that. And when they feel safe enough to open up their world, just make it a safe enough space for them to do that. But it's going to be a process. And I think, in fact, with my dating journey, I've learned to just also take my time. Because in the past, I just share everything, to take my time to share everything, because I don't even know if you're going to be here next week. So we have to build trust day by day, big brick by brick. And I think with women, sometimes we just want the immediate connection and to just be together and to just open up and just have this relationship fly off. But I've learned in dating, especially in relationships, it's better to take the time and just let things simmer than just like put it on the pot at 10 and have it boil up,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yo, I think for me, I'm a share. I want to share. I definitely want to share. I want to let you know what's going on with me. I want to communicate. I don't want to isolate. Hey, like if we have a connection, I certainly want to share. What about you, Mr. Dirk?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I try to lead with transparency and vulnerability, because I feel like, I need to get it back, and I can kind of discern whether or not she's withholding information, she's hiding, she's not authentic, she's not genuine. Like, let's get to the point. I mean, that whole getting to know and that stuff, we can really, stomp out a lot of time, just kind of being on the surface. And so I just like to be real. I like to be honest. I like to say what it is. And especially if we vibe, and I think it's a safe place where we can be upfront and honest and fully vulnerable up front. It kind of speeds up the clock a little bit. Not that I'm rushing to get nowhere, but like, I don't like wasting time with people, because you can go on 3, 4, 5, 6 months and still feel like, dang, I don't even know her, or she don't even know him. And it's just like, what we've been doing just on top level. I can't do that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. What about you, Sean? Share or?
I think I do appreciate sharing, but I think I'm with her. I'm about in the middle. I'll give you at the time what if we're in a relationship or we're trying to form that relationship. To me, I want to give you what I think at that time we need, and we'll keep going from there, because I'm slow. I'm not going to keep moving fast, and I've done that. I've been married twice. That's it. I quit. I'm like, okay, hold on. Yeah, I tell everybody the honest truth about me is no more matrimony. I'm in the mattress-mony, and that's it.
Wait, what does that mean, Sean?
That means all we are doing is hooking up, and we're going to talk, and we can get to know each other. If you want to be with me, you can be with me. But
This
I
man just
don't.
said the mattress-mony.
Oh, yeah, Oh, baby, I'm Silly Pasta.
I'm taking that word. That's the word of the day, honey. Mattress moaning.
Hey, Silly Postopedic. So, but I really do believe that at some point, as we get older, a lot of stuff like I'll go out on a date and I'll know in the first 20, 30 minutes, yeah, it's a wrap. And instead of me lying to you and sitting there, I'll just go ahead and pay for the bill, and I'm going home. I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to the studio, start playing my saxophone. But I want to share what I want to share. Like, I got some people that I share my things with, but only a few I share everything with.
Yeah.
If I can say that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, mattress-mony, and the fact that
that works. Now, listen, on the panel, that works for me. There's nothing that because I got that down to a science. Matrimony, 2 strikes. I think you get 3 strikes in baseball. I'm not getting up to the bat. I'm not getting up to the plate.
But Sean, you're divorced. You just barely, ink ain't even dried on the divorce yet. So of course you're not in that space.
Twice.
Yeah, but you were married a very long time.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, so I mean, give it a minute, let it simmer for a little bit, because your ass ain't getting no younger, homie. You
At
know, you
all.
might want somebody to come and take care of you, so you won't
Nope.
be in the
He
old
said
folks'
he
home.
just want a girlfriend. He don't want to put nothing on no piece of paper, which is
There
fine.
you go.
A man can, you know,
Because
I don't argue with men about what they want to do as long as they know what they want to do and they're transparent about what they
Yeah.
want to do. We have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
honor and
Right.
respect that, you know.
Don't play no games and act like you want one thing and then
Yeah.
it turns
So
out to be
if Sean says matrimony, then it's matrimony, and she can decide she want to be on that posturepedic, you know, or she want to be on that Tempur-Pedic, whatever floats her boat. Okay, she might want to upgrade to like a sleep number or something, Sean. So I don't know, but you know,
I have
whatever
one
floats her
question. I have one question to ask the panel, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest.
boat.
How many people put up both hands? How many people with two hands up do you know that are happily married? I'll wait for y'all to sit up there. I will wait that you know, not you think, not the Barack Obamas we really don't know, and Michelle, that you really know are happy. I'll
Yeah,
wait.
that's the thing.
I will wait.
You know one? You know one,
I
Athena?
don't. I think I know one. I think I know. I might know two.
Oh, my pastor in Stockton. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now, why are we chasing what doesn't make us happy?
I think marriage, and this is a conversation I'm having with my women's group and the men that I date when we come across that conversation, because a lot of them have said, what is the point of marriage?
Mhm.
I think that if you're only going to marry for love, then you should not get married. You do not need a piece of paper to love somebody. Marriage, to me, and how I view that construct, is for family, is for children, is for wealth building, is creating an institution. So if you are in a stage of life where you're not really interested in doing that, it's not necessarily necessary. However, that family unit and structure, if you are going to have kids and if you're going to invest time, money, and energy, then I think it's the best structure that we have in order to provide positive outcomes for the family overall and the children. So as far as, yes, there's a love element to marriage, but when I ask older people, including my parents who've been married 40 years, and the woman who I call my counselor woman who've been married 20, 30, 40 years, when I ask them what is the benefit of marriage, they love is never really the first answer. It might be the third, fourth, fifth down the line. They say all kind of other stuff before the love, right? Because they understand what it's going to take to do that long haul. And it's really a sacrifice on both parties. However, and this is something some of my women's group I've talking, my generation on down, I'm a millennial. My generation on down, I don't think a lot of us are going to get married.
I think marriage is a young person's
Gotcha.
game.
You guys
Marriage
are
is a young
smart.
person. Marriage is not for, like I don't think I would do it again either, because I don't desire to build with someone. I don't
Because you already
desire
did that.
Yes.
You already had your kids and you already,
Yes.
got to a certain
Yes.
place. So that's why I said marriage is for family.
Yeah. What you think, Derek? Would you get married again?
No, I mean, I quick fast. You know, I got
I
married.
like this panel. I love this panel right now. I really do.
I got married at 25. So I've been married my pretty much my whole adult life. I'll be 50 this year, and I think marriage for me was a great opportunity. I have two boys, almost 14, almost 17. To her point exactly, it created that infrastructure that allowed me to be there for my boys and to be able to have that team environment where we can work collectively together. But as you get older, you realize that there's some safe places that's been missing. Just some things over time that you feel like we just grew, you can grow apart. And so for me at this point in my life, I'm not the matrimony guy, but at the same token, it's just all fun, good vibes, having a good time. I do think that women over 40 typically who've never been married before, when you start to engage those friendships, it does create some level of pressure, with a lot of men. And so it could be a turnoff. We'll get back to the flag conversation, but you know, I mean, I think it's just one of them things when you've been there, done that. I mean, it's a lot of work. You know, for a lot of men, marriage feels like retirement. You know, if you talk to dudes in the room who about to get married, first thing they say is, man, I done been there, I done done that, I'm tired. And I just, you know, she's familiar, she's safe. I'm just gonna go ahead and pack it in. It don't feel like it's exciting, right? Women talk about he's the most amazing man, he treats me with love and do it. Dudes don't talk like that. Dudes feel like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and pack it in like it's over.
They go.
I'm glad
to
you
the
mentioned that,
penitentiary.
Derek. I'm glad you mentioned that because I have a interesting perspective. So I desire marriage. I've seen an example of a long-term marriage in my life. My parents will be celebrating 40 years this Friday or Saturday, the
Mine
3rd.
too. Yeah.
Right. I think, and I have a lot of discourse on this, I think marriage as it's marketed to women is a scam. I think marriage, what we have been mentally trained is to look forward to a ring and a day, and you are with that man for the rest of your life. And we are not, especially Black women, especially Black American women as a subset, are not as rigorous for a lot of reasons, institutional, slavery, whatever the reasons are, but we're not rigorous in what the expectation of us, which is a sacrifice that's going to be needed to make, but also the expectations of the man that you are marrying. All of that kind of gets overlooked for the emotional, I want the love and I want this fantasy of what that is. When anyone who has been married for a long period of time know the love would ebb and flow. Some days you're going to want to light him on fire. Some days he's going to, want to light you on fire and all these other things. And it's really about what is sustaining in the long term is the children and money. Every time I ask a woman who has been married 20, 30, 40 years, who is still married to this day, I always ask the ones who are still married, I ask them, what do you get in marriage? And it's always the first response is always children and money. The first response that has never failed. When I talk to my dad about marriage as a man who's been able to keep a family intact for 40 years and still married, his response, I asked him, because this is fascinating. Every man in his company is divorced except for him and another man. And I asked him, why did all these men get divorced? Like, what's going on? I was expecting some kind of answer. He said, the issue or the mistake that they made was all they thought they had to do was make money. That's all they thought they had to do. And that's, they did not look at their wives as real partners. They looked at their wives more so as a help. And that is just not going to be conducive long term. He also said, from a marriage perspective, that the only way to avoid divorce, and he told me this when I was engaged previously, is you have to put the marriage above everything. And it's really an institution where the two of you are conditioned into being selfless towards each other. And if you can't do that, if both parties can't do that, your marriage is just not going to last.
But the thing about it, and we got to get back on the videos. The thing about it is everybody desires companionship. Everybody desires love. Everybody wants to be with somebody. But why is it that marriage just does not work for a lot of people? And that's the question. Like, I desire to have one companion that I dig, that I love, that I'm vibing with, I'm feeling with, but I don't desire to be married. And so that just feels like a clink, clink, like a lockdown. But anyway, I don't want to answer that question right now. I want to go to the third one. Did we even get to the third one yet? Let's see.
Signal 3. Divergent attitudes toward personal growth. One sees life as constant evolution. The other seeks stability and predictability. It's not ambition versus laziness, but that philosophical divergence on the very nature of human existence.
This is huge, because when you have one person that seeks personal development and growth and is introspective, and one who don't give a damn, you find yourself 20 years down the road, and one person may be the same person that they were when you first got married, and they're like, look, you've changed. And you're like, look, you didn't. That's a problem. What do you think, Sean? Do you think that, like, where do you fall? Are you the person that's like, let's just keep things as they are? Or do you look at like personal development? You're I'm sorry, you're muted. I muted you because I think you were giving us feedback. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Is feedback back in here? Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're
But
good.
no, I love when I'm able to. I'm trying to say this politically correct because this is all
Go
on the
ahead. Hey,
internet.
listen, say it with your chest out, homie.
Uh, I think
Oh, what's the problem?
Ninja,
see,
say it with your
it's so
chest
easy.
out.
It's so easy to say matrimony and get away with that on the internet because I
Go
know
ahead,
that.
go ahead, say it.
But can I pass right now?
Yes, you can pass, but we coming back. So think about the words, gather them
Okay.
words.
Yeah, I gotta say it politically correct.
All right, Dirk.
Yeah,
Like
I,
they
you
said,
know,
say it.
I think for me, you know, I got in real estate at 25. I've never had a 9-to-5 situation. I've been an entrepreneur all my life, and so all I know is the grind for my shine. I'm not a sit still guy. I feel like I got to keep moving. I got to get to the next level. And if you involved in somebody whose love language is quality time, that's just not going to work. My love language is making shit happen. And so sometimes that don't work for everybody. And so for me, you know, I'm not a sit still guy. My first mentor used to say to me all the time, if you sitting still, you ain't going nowhere. And so for me, I just got to always keep it moving. You know, obviously it's a compliment for someone who's a little more structured, a little more soulless in how they move. It can be a compliment, but it can be a detriment too, because my pace, you know, is high level. And it's not like my pace is I'm out at the party or I'm out in the club popping bottles, having a good time. Like I'm sold out, committed to making shit happen. And so, you know, for me, if my partner don't have that same level of drive and commitment and getting to the next level, we just gonna bump heads all the time. Cause I mean, the lovey-dovey stuff, we could do that stuff later. We gonna find our pockets, but like doing the work that I got shit to do. And so like, you know, that could be a problem. And so it's not that I'm emotionally absent. It's just pockets in time for that, especially where I am in my life right now. My boys getting older, getting ready for school, college, and things like that. And as a provider, as a protector, as a man whose responsibility is to make provision, you know, some things and certain things matter to us a little bit differently than sitting on the couch watching Tubi. You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, just prioritizing. So, you know,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. So that can, you know, I don't know if you have a woman that's kind of a go-getter too. Will you find time for each other, or is y'all both just trying to make it happen? Do you need someone? Because he says, well, if one person is that person and one person's not, they're not going to be compatible. But if you're both extremely driven,
put it this way: we on vacation, and I got to use my phone because my stuff is going on, stuff is moving. Like I don't need nobody to say, "Cut your phone off." We on vacation. Look, who paid for this vacation? Like it's okay. I can step off real quick. I'm gonna make sure we can still have our margarita time. But like, you gotta back up off me. So, you know, making money is part of my life. I do think we can mix business and pleasure and still have a good time and move and shake. But if she's on a whole different stratosphere to think I'm gonna cut my phone off for 5 days and not answer the phone, like, I mean, that's not gonna work for me.
I love that, Derek. That's good. All right, Athena, what you think?
Derek, you sound like somebody I'm dating right now. I've been on vacation and the phone was still on and the meeting was still taken. But I think the issue is, right? And I allowed him to do that because I understood, because I also have my own business and I'm also doing my other things. And I'm also doing things while we're on vacation, maybe a little bit less because I can plug off a little bit more than he can. So I think traditionally, and times are changing, right? So for those of you who are involved in astrology, we're moving from the age of Aries and into the I think Pisces into Aquarius. And what that means is traditionally in the past, we have gotten together because of cultural and religion and certain things.
Right.
And where time is shifting, that relationships are now going to be based on mindset who you are as a person. Are we compatible? Because traditionally, marriage of old was about family, retaining families, money, and keeping traditions going. Now, the new relationship paradigms are more so mindset based. Are we compatible? Do we have the same goals? Before, it's like, do you look good? And do we look good together? And can we have cute kids? And can we have a little picket house? And the level of conscientiousness and mindset and really trying to understand and see if we are in spiritual alignment together was not at the forefront of most marriages and relationships. So I think even with a generational shift, or even a shift in the time period we're in, now relationships are actually requiring and demanding more from a mindset and a conscientious perspective than it was before. And we're seeing, as all of us are trying to figure out the clashing and the conflict and us not coming together as we navigate that new space. What I also see, and in my dating job, I've dated men who were divorced, or, you know, they're going through matrimony, or, you know, they try all these different things, and it's cool for a while. But then over time, because I've dated older, and over time, you know, life happens. Their friends start, you know, dying around them. Family members are dying. They have women that they might have different relationships to, but they're never fully satisfied with it. There's no, with little investment, there's little commitment that you're also getting with that. So what I find is a lot of these men do not have the emotional safety and outlet that they still desire, even though they have more freedom to move around. And in the end, they do still feel unsatisfied in those relationships.
Yeah.
So hold on, real quick. So the vacation with the dude that was on the phone, did that frustrate you?
No, because we have similar mindset. I also have my own business. I'm also doing a lot of different things. But I'm also kind of different. I don't need to be 100% of your world, because I already got my own world going on. I'm goddess. I already got my own world going on. So you need to find, a lot of women are trying to find, this is in the relationship scam.
Yeah.
A lot of people in general, because I say men, some men do this too. You are looking at relationships as a reprieve from the work that you need to still actually do on an individual level.
Absolutely.
You're looking for someone to complete you or to make you feel whole from whatever that work is. Relationships that are truly aligned will always, for both people, come together, encourage each other's purpose, journey, and self-actualization. But the reality is, most relationships, that doesn't really happen. It's usually one person still trying to push towards like the video was saying, growing, learning, expanding, and another person refusing to do that and actually dragging the other person down because they're afraid that that person's going to fly off and leave them behind.
Yeah.
So as everyone, whether or not you want a marriage or a matrimony or whatever the situation is, because I don't judge, like whatever, because, you know, I know what I want for my life. So it's no deal. We all have to look and say, okay, is this person as a spirit, as a being, enhancing, are we both enhancing each other's self-actualization? And are we both still doing our own work within a relationship? Because usually one person don't want to do their own work. The relationship's supposed to be the goal. And then after this, they self-abandon and give up everything that they were working on or who they wanted to be, or lose themselves in a relationship. And that's a big mistake. And a lot of women make that mistake too.
A lot of women. So before, I'm going to ask you, do you got your thoughts together, Sean? Wait. Let me unmute you. You got your thoughts together?
I got them together. The brother.
Okay, hold on. Before you give us your thoughts, I'm going to go to a quick Grow Your Money commercial, and then we will be right back.
Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows, this is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The Wealth Map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today.
Part of the personal development, y'all, part of the personal development is all about growing your money and not blowing your money. And that's the reason why I come live here every single day. Derek had to run real quick, but he's coming back. That's why I went to commercial. See that transition? That was good. That was smooth. All right, Sean. We'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. Tell us what you're working with.
Okay. So what I'll say is that because I'm an entrepreneur, you guys call it entrepreneur. I call it entrepreneur. I don't want to have anybody that doesn't have that same mindset. Any sister that has a job, I already know it's not going to work out.
Really?
It's not. I want to talk about growing every day. And that's what you're talking about, the shit.
Damn, he froze. Damn, Sean. Damn, he was getting good too.
I don't know. Divine said the man not speaking right now.
Damn. It was getting good too. Sean, where you at? I'm gonna take him out the stream real quick. Damn.
I'll say you gotta be a businesswoman to talk to him, honey. He said you got 9 to 5. You can't even check him.
Yeah, he said I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Well, when his camera come back on, damn, I'm gonna let him hear. Okay. Let's go. Okay, here come Derek coming back in.
You know what's so interesting? Where women say, "Oh, I don't want to date no man that's 9 to 5 clock it. I want an entrepreneur boss man." Oh my god. Oh my god.
But a lot of times when women say that, they be working 9 to 5. But they be working 9 to 5s though. It's like, remember what you said, Athena. You said this time and time again on the other podcast. You said only 6% of Black people,
Black Americans make $100K or more, according to the U.S. Census Bureau.
6% of African Americans make $100K or more, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. And you have all these people on these podcasts that are talking about, no, a man got to make $250,000. And that is like a rarity. Where are you going to find this man out of the 6%? 94% of them ain't making 6 figures. They're not even making $100,000. But anyway, Sean, go ahead and complete your thought, because you was getting it. You was talking that shit.
Okay. In this world, if you are going to be compatible to me, you got to have somebody you got to have a drive. Don't tell me that we're just going to vacation twice a year when we can vacation dang near every doggone month. Don't tell me we're going to do, because if you have a job, you can't take off. Mm-hmm. I need you, to work with me. You got to be an entrepreneur. You got to have a job. And I like what the sister said, because she says she has her own world. Please have your own. I have 7 children, 7 grandbabies. I have my own world. You have your own world. We can come in the middle and be just as happy as all get out. And everybody happy.
So they have to be self-employed to be able to do this?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I
I
haven't
mean,
found,
I can't.
haven't found anybody with a job that can take off.
I mean, that's true. I mean, if they're an executive, no.
I haven't seen an I haven't met it now. Okay, so chat, if you're executive sisters that don't mind honesty,
Marty
hit me.
said that's low.
Maybe if they work from home,
That'll work
you know,
because then they can
it
go.
means that,
I don't like
you
for
know.
me, I don't have to have a man who has his own business, but the fact that if I want to get up and go, I want us to be able to go. He has to be established in some way, but definitely has to be motivating, someone who's all about personal growth, professional growth. Like you don't want nobody sitting over there like not doing nothing, not talking about nothing, not, don't want nothing. You gotta have I gotta have something to talk to you about. And if you can't pour into me, because here's the thing about me, I'm a sapiosexual. I love an intellectually stimulating brother. I love a man who could teach me something. Turn your phone this way, Derek. Can you turn your phone to the side? I want a man that could teach me some things. And so if he ain't got nothing going on for him, then, or he doesn't desire personal development, that's the part that I don't think I can get with. You know what I mean? All right, let's go to the next.
Because that's not a mindset match.
Right, that's not the mindset match. So I think though, a person having a job, if they're like progressive. What about you? Does your man have a job, Athena?
Do I have a man? I'm just kidding. Listen, okay, Constance, let's lay ground rules, okay? Until you see me with a ring, we don't know what's going on, okay? Until you see a ring,
You don't have a ring
in the back, okay, pop out Mary, that's it, okay? We don't know what's going on, but
okay. Listen, she's pimping. All right, I got you. We ain't talking about pimp shit. Okay, are we on number 4 or number 5?
4.
1 to 4. Okay, we're going to number 4. Dang, we only on number 3. Shit. Okay.
Signal 4, conflicting views of sexuality. One sees sex as a physical expression of desire, the other as a manifestation of emotional connection. It's not high libido versus low, but that conceptual gap on the very meaning of physical intimacy.
Now that's man versus woman, though. Like women see sex as an emotional connection, and men is a lot of times, just dropping off their semen. I mean, which one are you, Derek? Are you the emotional one, or are you just dropping off semen? What you doing? You're muted. Are you? He like this?
Say dropping off semen.
I mean, that's what.
What was it? Baby gravy. That's a new term for it.
All right, I'm gonna ask you, Sean, while he over there in the car spinning. Are you
Derek acting like he got a Boost Mobile or Metro PCS phone today, honey? Listen, we can't connect on nothing.
Oh my God. Okay, so Sean.
Yes.
So is there emotional connection with you, or is it just physical?
Physical.
Yeah, at this point, matrimony, you ain't getting caught up.
No.
So has it always been this way?
I am open to the extra, but it's going to be time. It's going to take time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But in your younger days, were you ever emotionally connected in that way?
No.
Is that a man thing?
See, we are on the internet. Y'all know I'm not trying to be Cat Williams and get caught up and get I will say this. Boys are taught to conquer at young age. We play football, basketball, baseball. It's always a competition thing. It's always, so when it comes to that, you get your first taste of that, it's like, oh my God, I got to get another one and another one, another one. And like you guys say, maybe it's the if we had, parents married for 40, 50 years, that we saw in a loving relationship, it wouldn't be so. But I've seen, brothers come in and out of my mama's life that wasn't worth shit. And I wish they'd have been as honest with my mama as I am. You're not going to come back to me and say, oh, you know what? You said no, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
visible
That's
because
interesting because I don't know how my boys are going to, because my boys, they've never seen me with anybody outside of their father. So it'll be interesting how they approach relationships because they've never seen anybody in and out of over here at all. But that'll be interesting. And it is when you said that, you know, you haven't seen a man, your mom, well, was your mom married to your father?
no.
So had you seen a healthy relationship amongst your parents at all? Not with them together, but like them with other people?
No, I know my grandmother really raised me, and my grandfather was a tumbling rock. You know, say Papa was a Rolling Stone. He was a tumbling rock. He
Without
was
that.
everywhere. I remember my first wife and I. We were at one of her friends' house, and they lived in an apartment complex. I saw my 81-year-old granddaddy coming out of this 35-year-old chick's house, and
Wow.
he married my grandmama, and they put up with that crap. I
Yeah,
like they've
see,
been separate.
and that's what it is. When you talking about, you know, oh, y'all need to stick around like grandmama did. Look what grandmama had to put up with. Look at the shit grandmama had to
Man,
ain't nobody finna be doing all that. Derek, so we talked about sex. Some approach sex as just a physical transaction and some emotional. So for you, how do you approach sex?
Being almost 50, for me, I'm at a place in my life. I mean, I gotta fuck with you tough in order for me to give my goodies away, right? and so, but it's easier for me to trust the vibe of the relationship if we sexually engage. It's almost one of them things. If you allow yourself to be vulnerable and give your flowers and your goodies up to me, it's almost like I fuck with you more. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it's like that level of confidence and trust in the vibe that we share, like it makes a dude want to go harder. I can't speak for all, but I'm saying for me. I mean, and so it's emotional because of the fact that I mean I'm only intimate with those that I'm close to. I'm not the be out of town and meet a random in a bar and give her money. Like I'm not on that young dude type of shit. But for me at this point in my life, I mean it's an engagement. I rock with you, we cool. So there is some level of emotion. Then we sharing that time together because we're not kids no more. So it's not just an act of immaturity. It does mean something. It carries some value.
I love that. Okay, that's good.
But I
What
am
about
more the give me my way, you get your way type.
wait, you more what?
Give me my way, you get your way.
Oh, well, all right. Well, okay. Athena.
Well, thank God Derek believes in reciprocity because a lot
Yes.
of men be like, I want my way, and then I'll think about giving you your way. So at least I can respect that. Intimacy is very important, and as a woman, that is an emotional connection, and I think it's important that you maintain it as such. If you're a woman specifically, and you get to the point where you are engaging with men and there's no emotion behind it, there is gonna be some inner work that you have to do there because it's gonna affect how you connect with a man that you actually want to build a relationship with. I don't
Really?
think it's healthy to disassociate so much with your emotions, you know, your emotional nature. And I think a man has to honor that. I do not recommend for women, especially in a dating process where you're meeting a bunch of different men to have sex with all of them. I'm not going to tell women when and where they should not have sex. What I'm going to say is a lot of us make a mistake thinking that if I have sex with him, he's going to love me and appreciate me and uphold me and all this stuff is going to happen from that. And that is not the case. Sex does not guarantee anything. So if you're thinking making yourself open in that way is going to guarantee something with him, that is also not beneficial thinking. Let me say that.
So you're saying, let me ask you, so because I want to be clear. So women who approach sex transactionally, you're saying that it'll be harder for her to connect when she meets somebody that she's trying to build with? That's interesting.
And I think the big issue with dating as well is, and I had to come to this conclusion too, because before I never really had to date. I met the guys, the two significant relationships I met them through school, I met them through family. I didn't know that my environment was like filtering out men. So those men were very traditional, came from a 2-parent household, parents still together to this day. Degree. I didn't know I was meeting like a what would be considered like a small percentage of like Black men in particular. Once I got into the dating pool and I realized what the entirety of the pool was, I think the difficulty now becomes you are being exposed to now what is considered the predatory nature of men, which you've been kind of shielded from because you've only engaged with your brothers or your dad or men in certain spaces where they have to like behave or put on actually some kind of decorum, or else they'd be looking like a banshee out here. So, but when you're dating now, and it's on a one-on-one dating situation, you get exposed to like just unpleasant behavior is what I'm going to call it. And now you have to emotionally, at the same time, be open enough to make a connection with someone, but also emotionally guard yourself. And when you rush into that sexual nature part of the relationship, it hazes your discernment and your ability to walk away when you're seeing things.
Red flags be feeling like Six Flags.
Red flag be like Six Flags, okay?
Let me ask you a question, because you used a strong word, the predatory nature of men. Ooh, that's a little strong. So you mean to tell me you meet a dude, y'all vibing, y'all go out, have a good time on Wednesday, he want to see you again on Thursday, y'all hanging out having a good time, then Friday he want to do something, take you to a comedy show, y'all go out, y'all vibing, having a good time, and then he say, I don't want you to leave me, I don't want you to go home, I want you to stay with me. And
where are we staying?
We can stay at my house. We can go back to your house. We can get a rooftop, great view, lots of windows, overlooking water. Whatever the vibe is, that's what we do. And the chemistry is good. Y'all connecting, and I mean, we grown. And so obviously y'all just met a couple weeks ago. Y'all been talking, and it just turned into just a great night of a spontaneity and adventure. You mean to tell me that in the natural flow of just engagement, you think that's premature for you to engage sexually with a man?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Before I gotta bring my good girlfriend April on here, because April, like when you're talking about sex, casual, compartmentalized.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Don't you hate it when people just join the conversation? All I heard was yes, it's people. So you're saying that you can't have sex with somebody the first time you meet them? That's a no?
No. Wait, what I wanted to say is you're my friend that said. Hello? You're my friend that said go through the whole phase. Okay. Like, just date them all, sis. Go out there and compartmentalize the idea of having these interactions. And Athena is saying absolutely. Hello? Can you hear me? Y'all hear me? Everybody else hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So April is the friend. So Athena's a friend. Like,
wait, what did you say up to?
Huh? What?
I can hear you. Okay.
So what I'm understanding, I just want to make sure that I'm hearing correctly. Are we saying that we cannot engage in a sexual encounter the first time we meet people?
What I said is I strongly advise. I'll just say it plain. I do not advise having sex with men before you're in a committed relationship, and that has been clearly defined. And whatever your relationship goal is, whether it's we gonna be matrimony, we gonna work on married, we just kicking it, that conversation and those boundaries need to be outlined before you give up your coochie, thinking that it's gonna guarantee something, and you get your feelings hurt, or you give up your coochie and then you have to go and get a shot of penicillin. That's all I'm saying.
But what type of quality dude is gonna go for that until you get into a committed relationship? Like what?
What do you mean? What kind of quality dude?
I mean,
Derek, you don't know my dating history, so it's fine.
No. I'm just saying. I know. I'm just saying the type of dude that most women want is not going for that.
I don't believe that, and that has not been my experience. Maybe it has been an experience for others, but from my experience, that has not been my experience.
But I don't understand how women can't be transactional, just as transactional as men are. I think in this day and age, women are.
I'm sorry. I'm a person who believes, and I'm married, so I guess I can't really be a part of this quote unquote conversation. However.com, I strongly believe that if your cooch is interested in the person that you are sitting across from, that it is perfectly fine for you to engage in whatever you want to engage in at any time, period, if you're at least of age of consent. I also think that it shouldn't be a situation where like he's 100 and you're 20, but I do think that like if you're old enough and able to engage in a wonderful sexual experience, then a sexual experience should be had. Now that's just me. What do I know?
Yeah, I agree. Because as a man, right, I'm making an investment of time, attentiveness, money, care, concern, energy, right? And we vibing. And so we're vibing, and I'm giving you that level of attentiveness, and I want to be flirty and I want to engage. You put me in a precarious situation if I now gotta go and suppress that part of my life with you. I'd rather share in that release moment with you, especially if you're feeling what I'm feeling. And so without that, it's gonna put me in a situation where I gotta go feed that other side of that predatory nature that you talked about outside of you. And
I agree. But I'm sorry to say this though. I wouldn't care. So I mean, and this is gonna sound really really messed up, I guess, on my part. But I mean, I'm just going by my old ways, right? It's not about the money you spent because I had my own. You know what I mean? It's more so about your time and how I felt with you. So I didn't care if you spent your investment was nothing to me. I didn't care about your investment because I too was making an investment, and if I wanted to go there, I would go there. You get what I'm saying? So I don't care about your investment. I care about how you made me feel. If your investment made me feel good, then I would move on it, if that makes sense. But because I think that the problem is when it comes to a lot of women who feel the way that you feel, right? A lot of women feel that way because they're like, okay, well, he's just making the investment because he wants to sleep with me. And then you have a lot of guys that will, quote unquote, make the investment because they just want to sleep with you. So it's more so, I don't care about your investment. I care about how I feel about this particular person. So if you are giving me the vibes that I need, then you'll get the vibes that you need.
Okay. So hold on. Let's go to there's a couple more. What are we on? We on number 5? Or we on number 6?
What?
Signal 5, fundamentally different risk tolerance. One thrives in uncertainty, the other in security. It's not courage versus fear, but that neurobiological calibration of danger perception that influences every shared decision.
So one thrives in uncertainty, the other thrives in fear. So basically, this is saying these are the 7 silent red flags in a relationship. Can you be with someone, or he's saying you can't be with someone who thrives. If you thrive in fear, you can't be with someone who thrives in certainty. Right?
There's a lot of dead air going on.
Okay, so, what? All right, this is what I will say. Traditionally, dating and relationships. Dating was a courtship phase to solidify a relationship, and traditionally the men were paying to prove financial soundness because women depended on men for that financial security because they weren't working or they weren't institutionally of the past able to make their own money. Dating now today is almost like soft prostitution. So instead of you paying to demonstrate gentlemanry, to demonstrate financial soundness, to demonstrate an investment into I actually care about you beyond whatever lust I'm feeling in the moment, the predatory nature of men, Now it is a down payment for this coochie coupon you want to redeem down the line. Before you even say, I actually want to be with you, I actually only want to have sex with you, I actually only want to have a relationship with you. I'm not saying people don't, whatever people do never is not my business. I'm not saying people can't have that experience. But what I'm saying is, especially specifically to women, if you're thinking doing that is going to guarantee, because a lot of us have it in our head that this is going to make him love me more, and it don't guarantee nothing. So
Okay, let me do this. Let me do this. So
I agree with that. But I
wanna-
also, to your point, now you were talking about back in the day. So back in the day, then if that's the case, we were pimped out because our parents would pay money for us to get married to somebody, and that would be the first time we ever slept with anybody. So I mean, if you want to look at it from that perspective,
all right,
it's
listen,
always been some type of money exchange anytime you're talking about some sort of vagina.
All right, I'm gonna do a rapid,
like, at least in this day and age, if you want to do it, you can do it and not feel bad about it.
Can y'all hear me?
I mean, that's just me. I know I just like randomly joined the conversation out of nowhere.
Yes.
I hope everybody is magical. I'm that person
April,
who always has something.
April, can you hear me?
Maybe
April,
can you up, but I won't.
Maybe she doesn't hear me. I don't think April hears me. Can you hear me, April? April, can you hear me?
So I hear what you're saying. I'm sorry that I disagree.
Do you hear me? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth?
On the same page.
Can you guys tell her that I'm talking?
And it bothers me.
I don't think she can hear you, April.
Hey, April, Constance is talking to you.
Can you hear me?
Constance,
you can't hear me?
There?
You don't see me, April? April, you don't see me?
You don't see her, April?
I don't.
Oh, wow. I see you and hear you.
I see everybody.
So get off and get back on, April, because tell her to get off and get back on because she can't hear me.
Back on.
All right, so I want to play a quick rapid fire game. We ain't gonna be able to get through all 7, but listen, I want to just we're gonna talk about red flags real quick, okay? So, what's one flag that you completely ignored because the chemistry had you dickmatized, coochiematized, or whatever? All right. So, love bombing. Has anybody ever been love bombed?
Oh yeah, of course. I love being love bombed.
You love being love bombed?
I do because once you hit that wall, what you think, because people, they burn out so quick. They can only keep that pace up so quick.
Wait. So why do you love it?
Because I'm like, oh, I'm getting my flowers, I'm getting all this stuff. You thinking you're gonna rush something that's not gonna be rushed. You playing this game with me because you're really full of shit. You don't really care about me. You just want between my legs. So you're thinking you're just gonna send all this stuff and try to pretend to be a Prince Charming that you're not, and that you're gonna come in a quickness, snatch my coochie, and go home. So I laughed during that whole thing.
So you like love bombing. So have you overlooked certain red flags because of love bombing? I have.
No.
Hey, no, I was green. Anybody else? Anybody else been love bombed?
I mean, I think that's a woman thing. I don't.
You don't think women love bomb men?
Maybe because a lot of these women be like, oh, the first I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna do this, 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 thinking that it's gonna make him love you and be quicker, and that doesn't work.
I don't know, dudes don't talk about stuff like that. I'm a leader, I'm a doer. I'm not sitting back waiting on. I don't know. That's never crossed my mind. That's some girl stuff.
Love bombing.
Yeah, I didn't even know what love bombing was. I'm glad y'all enlightened me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait. What is love bombing again? Because I'm sorry, I had to jump off and jump back on.
Dude, faking
love bombing is.
He playing games. He faking. He trying to manipulate the situation to get some coochie. It ain't. It's not genuine, authentic, and he playing face.
Have you ever overlooked red flags because of love bombing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about men who want you to meet their parents people who want you to meet their parents super quick? Is that part of love bombing?
That's red flag.
That's a red flag?
Me and my mom like best friends. My mom had me as a teenager. She's just a loving personality, energy. If I bring somebody around my mother, it ain't because you about to be my girl, or nothing like that. It's I need to stop by my house. I left my charger or my phone. Come on in. My mother cool. She gonna show you love and we keep it moving. Let's go back to the movies. Like, it ain't no, she the one. Like, it ain't, don't take it the wrong way. And we just on some cool shit.
Okay.
That's still absolutely not. And I'm going to say, because what happens is you have a lot of women that believe that you introduced me to your mother, even though you like, nah, this is just cool shit. I'm just stopping by here. They're like, oh, but I met his mom and she was cooking. You know what I mean? They don't do that.
But the way my mom is, she know the script. Like, she know how to. She's not giving her all that. Like, she just also know. Well, yeah,
because she saw you with the last one last week, so she ain't really even tripping. You just bring
the mom doesn't care. You don't care, but that woman is like, oh my God, she's going. Listen, she done left your house. She went home, and on the ride home, she called all of her friends and was like, "Guess who I met last night?" And that's absolutely not.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure I contextualize the follow-up to make sure that it's just some shit.
For real. For real. All right, what about somebody who does the Grand Rising Queen, Grand Rising King? Like, you know, they're
usually poor.
Oh my God.
I've noticed that as a trend. You know, some men, you know, men lead with what they have, right? Some men lead with, you know, the emotional compliments because they can't afford to buy a meal for you. And,
wow.
you know, or they asking for donations, or they wearing a kufi hat and living in a, saying that, you know, as long as we have love, we can live in a cardboard box together and be fine. So,
wait, I think that April said the ones who be on the mattresses on the floor.
Now that's a difference. That's the difference. Let me tell you about the mattress on the floor, honey. You got one cup, one plate, maybe even two plates. Ooh, honey, if you got 2 plates and 2 forks and a mattress on the floor, oh my God, I promise you, you will have your back blown out. Amen?
You will have your back blown. Blown.
Queen
and all that.
How old the women are. I want to know why they want to know that answer.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but in the morning, if I'm thinking about you, I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna let you know. If I'm thinking about you during lunchtime, hey, I mean, we're gonna communicate if you're on my mind.
All right, go to your meeting, Derek. We'll hit you. Thank you for coming on, sir. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Nice to meet all y'all.
All right, baby.
Nice to meet you, doctor.
Okay. So, the mattress on the ground, sis. That's that A1.
But to your point, they will never have anything else to offer you except the mattress. Wait for it, on the floor.
All right, so let me ask you this. Somebody who listens to these raggedy podcasts, the red pill, blue pill podcasts, I think all women are a certain way, or all, 50-50, or she got to bring something to the table. Are those red flags?
Red flag.
But
red flag. 6 red flags.
Where I agree with you wholeheartedly, do you feel the same way? Because I'm sorry, Constance, I have to ask this. Do you feel the same way from a woman's perspective? Because we're saying that it's a red flag as it relates to the men, right? But you have so many women who are like, yeah, I don't understand why I'm not living the soft life. This is what a man needs to have. A man needs to have this job, this job, this job.
Well, if you don't preach.
Say it again.
If you don't preach.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's the thing that makes my ass itch is we'll talk about, well, he ain't got enough money. And where, but he can get money. Like, that's the beautiful thing about the fact that, like, we're people and we can advance. I don't like the whole 50-50 because I think we talked about that, Constance. Like, the whole 50-50 thing makes my ass itch too, as well, in addition to. But I think that if we're going to say we don't like it, because I agree with you, I don't like it either, right? But I also listen to a lot of podcasts where I hear women do the exact same thing. And I'm like, I don't like that either. Like, if we're going to bash, we can't get mad at them for bashing.
Yeah. I feel like you should be able to be okay with dating your economic level or higher as a woman. So if you are a woman who made $50,000 a year, you should be okay with a man making $50,000 a year or higher. Don't go below.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I think that's fair.
That is. Oh, sorry, Constance.
No, go ahead.
Look, I yield to the mic. Where I do think that is fair, right? What happens to those women who are making $30,000 a year and they're like, I don't understand why, or I'm only dating a man who makes six figures or above, because I know her. Like, I know her very well, and she's like, you know, and I'm saying that like as if it's a specific person, but I come across these women every day. So what would you say about those women who are like, because what I won't do is woman bash, because I think women are freaking awesome, but I think that we also need to have a little bit more of a logical mind when it comes to how we date. And it's like, what about the woman who makes $30,000 a year who only expects to have a man who makes six figures or above?
Well, if she can manifest that for herself, I ain't gonna get in her way. But the issue is, it's not necessarily a dollar amount, because men who make more money than you don't really care as much about your salary. But there's differences that come, and this is a conversation we can have for another day. There's a different societal, cultural, educational, and spiritual conditioning that happens across these different tax brackets. You're usually not living a similar lifestyle, exposed to different things. So if you have the mindset and all these other things that are a match to that man that's making 100K, you can still date that man. But chances are that you do is very small, and that's why you probably won't attract that man.
So Sean, in this iteration of your life, being that twice divorced, you just turned 60 today, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
Would you date someone who didn't, work, somebody maybe who, I know you said you're not going to date anybody who is not an entrepreneur, but maybe they were struggling, or maybe they're not where you are financially. Would you date a woman that wasn't where you are financially?
Yeah, I don't care about her finances, but see, I have a problem with women that have a problem with the man being the other side. Now, if I'm making six figures a year and she's making, because she just started her job, started her career, whatever it is, in entrepreneurialism, and she's making 35, 36 a year, but she's really doing her thing, I don't see a problem with it. But I get tired of hearing women on podcasts, on internet, on TikTok, always say, well, I'm making six figures. I can't take a man making 30,000, 40. Why not?
Right.
Why not? Teach him like I'm teaching you. If she's at 36 and I'm the baller that I say I am, like Constance, I bought your books. All the Constance books I have. I've gone online and got them. I'm going to tell you right now, Constance is teaching folks how to make it. Now, me as a man and an entrepreneur, and I've been doing it for a little while, if I can't take her from 36 to six figures, that's something on me. And I think women need to stop all this little rhetoric talking about, well, he doesn't have this. And come on, why can't you build him like he would build her? Like, I have no problem with you making 30, 40. I don't care. Because
I disagree with that completely.
Of course,
what do you disagree with? What do you disagree with?
I disagree with that completely, because most women who are first of all, let me repeat the stat again. Only 6% of Black Americans make 100K or more. So this is really a 6%. This conversation don't apply to most people, right? So let me restate that again. But however, most Black women specifically, or women in general, because I have white friends too, everybody got the same issues, just that they just keep their shit quiet over there. But trust me, I see the behind the scenes too. Most women have tried to date a man who is a less economic status and build him up. And what usually comes with that is resentment, because as a man, you by biological
resentment from who? Resentment from
they
who?
resent the woman, because he resent the fact that he needed your help in the first. A lot of men do. And there's a lot of women's experience who have gone through an experience of trying to build a man. And the other issue too is usually there's a mindset block as to why he has not been able to cross that threshold. There's a mindset difference. He thinks he needs all this help and he's not a go-getter. He's not there's usually all these boundaries. And he also feels, we're not factoring how men feel. Most of them do feel a way when you do make more, or you're doing more, or they have not been able to match you in that way. And I have seen that time and time again. Now, there will be exceptions to the rule, but it is not more than not, more so, the man will be resentful. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to drain you just to try to convince him to do this. You're going to have to tiptoe to figure out how you're going to word it to say it this way so that he feels fine about doing this. It's too much.
But that's that right there for me.
No, but what man do you know? But honestly, Constance, what man do you know doesn't want to make more? If you come into my life and you're going to show me how to make more or how to build more and have more, why would I resent you? That's crazy.
It's not that though. Can I tell? I'm just going to put my business, not my business, my thought out there. In my head, now I could be wrong because I'm not going to speak for you, but what I believe she's saying is pretty much what did Kanye say? He'll leave your ass for a white girl, right? So it's pretty much like as soon as he is on the come up, he'll be like, well, I resent you for getting me to where I am. That I don't think that's necessarily the case. He does.
That's not what I was saying.
Okay, so that's not said. Correct me.
He's gonna resent you regardless whether he stay because you're gonna remind him that he needed you in the first place to get there, and that he wasn't capable of doing it.
So here's the problem that I have with that, though, y'all. Can I speak? Because I make a certain amount of money. Okay, so if you think only 6% of people make the $100,000 threshold, how many people do you know that makes what I make? So does that mean that makes the pool smaller? And if these men, I don't expect a man to make the amount of money that I make. And so does that mean that he's gonna if I find somebody who doesn't make that much, he's gonna resent me? Like
That's crazy.
That's what I'm trying to say. I have to disagree because I think it's how you help him. And I think that's what the biggest problem is when you're dealing with how women in this day and age, let's go back to the quote unquote podcast that we see on a consistent basis where there's a lot of male bashing going on.
And female bashing.
But I mean, I'm sorry, I'm focusing on this topic. The issue is it's typically like, you ain't shit. You ain't this. Now I got to be the one to help you to get to where you are. And that's what it's like. We're constantly throwing it in their face.
Yeah, the disrespect.
So what a man, and one thing that I also do hate with a passion is when men say what women need and when women say what men need. If you listen to oftentimes what men say about what they need, they say constantly that they need respect. And that's it. They're like, I don't care about anything else. As long as you show me respect, at 98% of the time, then you're going to get all of me. So it's like, if I'm respecting you as I'm helping build you, then you're going to be built. Whereas if I'm going to tear you down as I'm quote unquote building you up, and my focus is to build you up into the person that I want you to be for my benefit, then that's not going to, then of course he's going to leave you. He didn't want to be with you in the first place. He just wanted you to help him.
But to Athena's point, because somebody said, how was it with you making more? And I made all the money in my marriage. And I didn't think it was a problem at all. I really didn't until we went through the divorce. And then I seen where the resentment came from. I was oblivious to I'm oblivious to everything. I'm so oblivious. I don't even know. But I didn't realize that there was a resentment until we went through the divorce. And then I seen it, but I thought, we're good. He got full access to all the money. And, so this is us. We started together and this is ours. And then it was like, then it kind of changed. So for me, one of the things that I think one of my friends said, you did too good of a job making him feel like he contributed equally, because then he really felt like he contributed, like he did all the shit that he didn't do. And that became, that was a problem in and of itself, because I would say, I would always try to be inclusive. I couldn't do what I do without you doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to make sure that he felt like he equally contributed to the situation. I want to build, you know, and I'm a builder, so I'm a love you where you are. You don't have to make a certain amount of money. I just want somebody smart. Teach me some shit. If you know some shit about outer space that I don't know, and you can teach me some shit and it's interesting, I'm good with that. I don't need you to make $1 million. Teach me some shit about outer space. I'm simple.
You know what? It's so interesting to me because I'm part of these different groups. You know, I have my non-Black friends, then, you know, Caribbean, African, Black women, and then Black American women. I'm in all these different spaces, and our perspectives on these conversations are always so wild to me. And I find it very sad, and maybe we can do an episode on it, but I always find that Black American women in particular endorse things that contribute to struggle of more so than African and Caribbean women or even non-Black women.
What do you mean?
I can see that.
It's it's just too much. Like, I just find it that it's just too much acceptance of where the men are in the society versus drawing a line in the sand and saying, okay, this is the line right now. This is where the line is, or we're just not crossing that line.
There's another lady on the other podcast, Noma Langa. She said one of the questions was, well, what if like you had to contribute? She said there's ways that he could figure that out that don't include me. Like there's ways that he can figure that shit out. That does not include me contributing financially. There's a million ways to do it.
I'm not even saying that a woman can't contribute financially either. I'm just saying that, and it's so funny because I want to also put this out there because people think I only date like Black men who are not American, and that's not true. That's not true. But it just seems to me that there is this image of that they need all this help, and they don't. Black men are very capable.
It's because
I think it's actually insulting to insinuate that they need all this help from us when they're very capable.
But let me tell you something. In California, the caliber of men is different than here in the DMV. Like in where I'm from, the Black men, they material handlers, they forklift drivers, they're that. And the women, almost every woman that I know, they make more. They're more successful, you know, than their husbands. Here is much different. You have these men that are, you know, very productive and very successful, and they have a whole different thought process. But I think, you know, geographically, it also depends as well, because over there, yeah, it's different. I remember just having a conversation with somebody from here, you know, a long time ago, and Emmerich, he was like, yeah, that's not, because we were talking about the plight of the Black man. He was like, yeah, that's not our thing. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He said, I can look outside my house and everybody in my neighborhood makes 6 figures and we're all Black. And I was like, whoa.
And well above.
And yeah, right. So it's different. I guess it depends on, you know, geography. Because
I remember when I moved here as an immigrant child and I started school here. And the first week I already picked up that there was this expectation of me not to do well because I was Black, and that being Black in this country meant something completely different than my experience up until this point. And I think even in dating, or even my perception of men, is that I have a high expectation of you because I've seen that expectation. That is not some, oh my God, like I found this great Black man in a drought somewhere. Like these men are there, but also this excuses as to why you don't personally develop and go out and get it like men like Derek or get it like men like Sean is too commonplace in the culture and society today. Agreed. And we're paying a price for it.
Agreed.
So that's all I'm saying.
So,
like
I'm saying we don't have an expectation, or the bar is set so low for
the bar is in hell. The bar is scraping.
Wait. Wait, what does Sean think? Because Sean is over there. Sean ain't saying, you come on. We talk about y'all, Sean. What's going on? Is he frozen?
Sean frozen?
Is he dead?
I will say this. No. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
You guys can? Okay. So my take on this is that I find it ironic when women know everything that a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to do this. He's supposed to be this. He's supposed to be this. Who made that? Who made that up? The man that you want,
God?
I mean, if you guys, can you see me?
Yeah, I said God.
Am I?
You made that up. I said God.
Okay, God, yeah, God. Okay, gotcha. I think so. Okay. But now, who made this man that you guys in your mind? He don't freaking exist. Your kid, even you have sons, they're not the man of your dream. Then you raise these fools. Come on now.
I love
So
Sean.
yeah, but you guys are, no, for real. And it's like, men saying, if a man has all this to say about a woman, I'm not going to say a woman should be doing this. A woman should be doing this. A woman should know this. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I'll do what I got to do. But as far as everybody putting this thing on men saying, well, these men, like you said, they're in, the pool is way down in hell. According to who?
I had an African lady tell me that she was so shocked that so many black men, African American men, has sold drugs, and her culture, it was uncommon. He said the culture of African American men here in this country is different from the culture of African and Caribbean men. Our struggles are different, so we will never see eye to eye ever, even though we have the same black skin. And I believe African culture accept a man having more than one wife.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. You all right? But I think what you're saying is true, because a lot of times, you got the arrow? A lot of times, especially like when I see like different forums when they'll say, men, what is it that you don't like about this? Or what is it that you don't like about that? And then you have women answering, and they're like, we ain't talking to y'all. Mm-hmm. We talking to men. How y'all gonna tell us what men like when the question is to the man?
Can I add, because there was something that he said, and I was like, oh my gosh, if that is not the most correct thing, where women are always saying what a man wants, but when it's on, not what a man wants, women are always saying what a man should be, or what a man should have, or what a man should. But if the shoe was on the other foot and a man started saying what a woman should be, they're like, who are you to tell me who I am?
Oh, we BANs at that point. I can't cut. If we make that comment, if a man makes that comment, we are a BAN, and y'all know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know
if we make that comment, but women make that comment every day, all day. I hear it all the time.
I mean, men made the comment too. They say y'all don't cook, y'all don't clean, y'all out here with y'all bonnets, y'all out here on y'all bonnets, y'all got 4 or 5 baby daddies, y'all ain't this, y'all got degrees that don't make money. We get it. Everybody getting it. That's what I'm saying. I think everybody's getting frustrated because that is definitely in the ether.
No. Where I would say you're right, because you're right when it's like, yeah, you don't cook, you don't clean, you should do this. That's why I need to be with a white woman. Blah 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 blah. No, what I'm saying is they don't say who we should be. You get what I'm saying? Like, they say the things that we don't do. Okay, but they don't say, a woman should be like this. This is how a woman should be acting. This is what. No, like we're always saying, and I hear it every day. A man should be providing. A man should be doing this, and a man doesn't turn around and say,
Preach.
"I'm not going to be with a man. I'm not going to be with a woman unless she does this, that, and the third." They're like,
I've heard
"I want
that.
to find the person." Huh?
I've heard that.
Okay. Listen, let's wrap. I got to go to another podcast.
Okay, give me one more thing to say though, Constance.
Go ahead.
Can I get one more thing? I want to say again to all the women that are raising young men. Is he what you would want?
No.
And I'm going to tell you right now, in your minds, they don't freaking exist.
Wait, what?
All that kind of, they only only exist in your minds. The man of your dreams, the man that you say we're supposed to be. Because you haven't raised the sons like that.
That's so true. I remember and that's a whole other problem and discourse we can have, because I have 4 brothers, and I agree with you 100%, Sean. Because I remember my dad got his feelings hurt when he asked me if I would ever, if I was meeting guys like my brother in the street, if I thought they were good men and I would date them, and my answer was no. And my dad was like,
I rest my case.
I rest
my case.
Can I say something? before you go?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to put it out there. This has absolutely nothing to do with relationships. Actually, it does. If you want to meet amazing people who are intelligent, I can tell you that it's only $15, only $15 right now. Get financially lit. We have an event coming up June 5th. That's right, June 5th.
DC, it's time to get financially lit. Join us Thursday, June 5th at Focus Social Club for a powerful evening of connection, cocktails, and conversation. Meet wealth builders, thought leaders, and game changers ready to pour into you. Live music by the incomparable April Sampay. Vibrant vibe, a room full of opportunity. Bring your brilliance, bring your business cards, and come ready to elevate. Grab your tickets now at getfinanciallylit25.eventbrite.com.
Now, where on earth can you see April Sampay for $15?
Only $15? What a bargain.
You can't see April Sampay anywhere for $15. That's the early bird tickets. $15. You need to come out here for that. That's June 5th. You need to come out here for that, Athena. Come rock with it. No, for real. Come out here for that weekend. Get financially lit. Sean, did you see April on? Sean's a saxophone player. His album CD what number were you on the billboards?
I was 22 on the billboards, but I've had 3 #1 hits off of my 2 albums.
Good sax.
That means he could play
good sax.
Sean, you got it. You made it for yourself. You made it for yourself.
Yes, I love it when a man gives good sex.
Baby, hey, listen, I am very sexual.
Y'all, this is great. Sean, we got to have you on more often because this was good. This was very engaging. We got to do this at least like once a week. We already talked about this, Athena. We got to do this like once. Huh? Yeah, because this is interesting and definitely from the male perspective, and to have different types of men that come from different walks of life, right? So y'all, this was great. You guys have any last words?
The last words that I will say is relationships are supposed to help both people involved towards self-actualization and alignment and peace, love, and harmony. And ladies, do not trick and fool yourself that meeting his mom or having sex early or all these other things are going to guarantee something with a man. Because Sean letting you know the men y'all trying to find anyway don't even exist, right? Because we so delusional. So calm down, take your time, enjoy the process, and protect yourself.
I want to unpack this whole idea of marriage being a scam. We need to talk about that specifically.
Oh, because I said that marriage.
Yes, she said marriage is a scam.
No, I said how marriage is marketed to women is a scam. Not,
okay.
Oh, it's marketed.
Oh, you want to get married? Well, you know what? Listen, marriage is a scam to me and Sean, huh? Because we been there, done that, and we ain't doing that shit again.
So I'm coming back with the mattress money.
Mattress money.
With the mattress money T-shirt.
Hey, look, I'm into relations, not relationships. That stuff just don't work.
Yes, come through, relations.
Mattress money T-shirt line coming soon to you.
Oh yeah. Hey, and put a sax on it. And put the hashtag got sax.
No, you need to come out with a T-shirt line, Sean. I am sexual with the saxophone on it. That's your next.
I have a license plate. My license plate says Sexual 1.
Okay. April, what's your final thought?
My final thought is what you want is what you can have, but stop being delusional with what you want. I think that's the biggest problem, is that we're so unbelievably delusional.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. We're so unbelievably delusional in what we want, but realistically, you can have what you want. Number one, you have to work for it. And I think that people aren't willing to work for it. So that part. Also, the second part of what I want to leave people with is get financially lit. Y'all make sure y'all are in the building. So buy your tickets right now.
Not now, but
right now.
Yeah. It's early bird ticket, $15. Yeah. Sean, besides your dream man does not exist, because that was a bar. That shit was a bar. What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are this. You guys have been living on earth 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, and you can only name maybe one or two people happily married. Now, happy relationships would be so much better. Just get somebody that you two get along and you can do what you want to do and enjoy yourself. You know, those y'all want to get married because that's your best friend, have at it. Me, I'll see y'all on the mattress money side.
Happily married, just have happy relations.
Wait, did y'all just catch that? Did you just
My
say
ship
mattress
sailed a
money?
long time. The
That's what he
relationship,
said.
my ship
He said
sailed.
mattress money?
He said mattress-mony. Yes.
I
that's
love
what he said.
mattress money. You know what? I swear,
Sealy
back in the
Posturepedic.
day when I was single, I would have used that. So that is a good one. Keep it and put it on a t-shirt. Constance, what are your last words?
Well, listen, let me just tell you this. Chemistry can light the fire, but compatibility is what keeps you warm. So y'all do not ignore the smoke because it feels good. I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
Another man who call it good addiction. It turn me on when they run me like a ninja. Nothing make me wanna